Hey folks, most welcome to the new YouTube video, and here we have the fitness coach. You must have heard the many of the interviews, you must have listened to them that they are coaching, the other business coaches are coaching about the fitness coach. But today I have brought an amazing fitness coach who is going to share his own experience and how can you get started with being a fitness coach, and how can you keep your pricing at the right place, and how can you charge well, and how can you keep going ahead in this sector, right? So we have the amazing guest. We have Donald over here, Donald Sweeting. Hey, brother, we are most welcome over here on our show.
And thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to talk to you this morning.
Perfect, perfect. So, Donald, my audience would like to know a brief introduction of yours.
Okay, so I've been a personal trainer for coming up to 10 years now. I got into this industry straight out of university. So I studied a sports science degree. So I have got a bachelor's degree in sports science. And when I graduated, I went and got my level 3 qualification and started in a gym in Runcorn. So it's really kind of like low barriers.
John, I believe the voice is cutting off.
Okay, so what? Yeah, so with personal training, it's not like a vocation where you need like a degree. I'm just really interested in the subject. Like I have absolutely loved like fitness and training and going to the gym since I was like 13 years old. So it was kind of like a natural progression for me. But the problem is here in the UK, like pretty much all personal training positions are self-employed. So my knowledge in terms of like the body and how to get results was up here, but my knowledge in terms of running a business was down here. So I was 21 years old. I didn't really know about like marketing and sales and kind of like how to do that. So that first business lasted about 3 months because when my gym started then wanted to charge me rent, I was essentially paying them for the right to work there because I had a couple of clients, but nobody had showed me like how to do the business stuff. So I then evaluated, went away and went, right, well, what skills do I need in order to make this successful? I need to get better at sales and need to understand marketing. So I went and read every book I could on marketing, and I got a job in telesales, which for anybody who's worked like cold calling on the telephones, it's soul destroying, but you either get really good at sales or you flop. So basically, I spent about a year kind of doing that job. It really cemented the fact that I did not want to work behind a desk for the rest of my life. Some different personal issues kind of like came up. I moved back in with my mum, and that then allowed me the freedom to then go and be self-employed, but I didn't then have the pressure of, right, I've got a mortgage to pay, bills to pay. I was back living at home. My expenses were really low. It gave me the time and the freedom in order to be able to kind of learn the skills of being a personal trainer, of how to like run a fitness business. I then got headhunted into being like a fitness manager for a gym, kind of learned a lot more of kind of like the business of gyms. Did that for probably about 4 or 5 years. And then when my little girl was born, we had a choice to make. I could either work full-time for somebody else, spend all that money on paying for her to go to nursery for somebody else to raise her, or I could go back to being self-employed, work part-time, and spend more time with my daughter. So I did that. I got some kit in my garage. I started personal training people. Again, because obviously being self-employed, you can charge a lot more. By then, the results that I was getting was much better. I could charge a premium fee. And then COVID hit. So I just started up my self-employed business, like all the kind of like safety nets in terms of like, what do they call it? The furlough scheme and everything like that were all set up, but for people that had either were employed or had been self-employed for more than a year. So I had like zero support. I'd been dabbling in online training at that point, but I didn't really have much of a platform built. I didn't really know how to sell it very well. So I was quite lucky as I'd just invested into a mentor like the guys that you've had, basically that then teach you how to build online training as a business. So I had a year-long mentorship that I just signed on to, and it was right place, right time. So I moved pretty much my entire business online in the space of about 2 weeks. Luckily, a number of my existing clients that I was seeing kind of like face to face, like came with me kind of like online. So I had some sort of income. And then I spent the next 2.5, 3 years just building that platform, like stripping back the program, making it better, to now where we've just relaunched under the newest version of the program, which is called the Ditch the Dad Bod Blueprint, which is all about helping like 25 to 40-year-old dads, like when life has taken over, when you're finding you're working more than you should, you're barely getting to see your kids because work's kind of like taken over, and your health and your fitness is kind of like your final priority. I teach them how to flip the script, how to put yourself first again, because actually you can't pour from an empty cup. If you are overstressed, you're not sleeping, you're putting poor quality nutrition in, and you're not moving, you're not bringing your best self to work, which is why you're then struggling to get all the work done in the 40 hours a week that you're given. Whereas when you focus on self-care, focus on your health, focus on being the best version of yourself, you'll be far more efficient, which means you'll get more shit done in the amount of time you've got allocated for it, which then means that you've got more time to spend with your kids, more time to spend on the things that you want to do rather than having to drag your ass to work for 50, 60 hours a week.
Perfect, perfect. So that's like a kind of a quite long journey that you have shared over here. So, here the question that I'm getting started with, that is, what was your first step? As you already shared that when you were 21-year-old, then you started learning this. Is that right? So, what was the first step? What did you think that how's that going to help you? And let's say if there is a beginner, he wants to get started. So, what is your advice to them? How one can get started as a beginner?
So again, it depends on where in the world that you are. So like here in the UK, a minimum requirement to be a personal trainer is something called a level 3 in personal training. So you've got a level 2 qualification, which is fitness instructing, and then a level 3 qualification, which is in personal training. It's about the equivalent to a GCSE. So like, obviously that's a legal requirement. You've got to go and get your level 3 in personal training. So that would be the first thing, is learning basic biology, learning and understanding like how to get people the results that they want. And then the next thing would be understand that it's a business. Like, you're not just going to be able to put up a post on Facebook and have floods of clients like coming to you. That's not how it works. And when you first start out, you're probably looking at 4 to 5 years of like hard graft where you're going to be getting underpaid. I think it's a lot better now because there's mentors and stuff out there that like teach you how to get there faster. The problem is that when you're first starting out, it's a decent chunk of investment. Like a decent business coach is probably going to set you back £1,000. However, I know now that every time I've invested in a mentor, it's given me back 10 times the value in the money that I've kind of invested. So if somebody's wanting to get there faster, like, get your first couple of clients under your belt. If you have to take it out on a credit card or whatever you need to do, get a mentor, because the learning curve on it is so much faster.
All right, perfect, perfect. So here we talked about, the beginner. As I was listening to you, the answer that you were answering. So there was a thought in my mind, and that question popped up in my mind, that let's say there is a coach, there is a trainer, personal trainer. he's there in the gym, he is doing it offline and he wants to do
Mhm.
it online. So how a personal trainer, the person who is doing offline, how he can do all the stuff online?
Look into software. So it's the thing with face-to-face coaching
Mhm.
is that 2, 3 times a week. So if they have problems, if they have questions, they will normally like ask you. With online coaching, like it's different as in you'll find that you have a specific set of people that you work with. There is a lot of online coaches out there. And if you just go on Instagram and put yourself out there as like a fat loss coach or just like a generic coach, like you would in a gym, like the thing in a gym is there's 2,000 captive members there that are seeing your face every day. They know you as the personal trainer. They see you working with other clients. They know you are an authority figure and you get people results because there's other people paying you for your service. Whereas online, there's no filter. Like you can have like Gymshark that's got like 2 million followers out there. If they decided to put out a program, a lot of people would jump on it because they've got authority. If you've got like 500 followers on Instagram and you start just putting out like generic tips for like fat loss that people can go and Google, they're probably not going to sign up with you. Whereas, as I said, like I'm working with a very, very specific set of people. So if you decide, right, I'm going to work with 30 to 35-year-old mums who are struggling to lose the baby fat, and you start putting out very, very specific advice for those people, then they're going to go, oh, that sounds like me. Maybe this person understands what I'm going through. This will be the right coach for me. Whereas if that same 35-year-old mum saw you posting your pictures from your bodybuilding show, they're probably going to be a little bit intimidated by that, and they're not going to what's the word, resonate with it as much. So the best advice I could give to somebody who's working on the gym floor and wants to transition online, look at your existing clients. Who do you enjoy working with the most? Who do you get the best results with? And just start making content for that specific person. And then what will happen is there is more people like that person online, and those people are the ones that will then start reaching out to you going, oh my god, that post, it was like you were speaking to me. And that's how you then start to build relationships. And then it's about building a system that helps again that specific person. So what problems does that person have and how can I solve them?
Perfect, perfect. So you just meant saying that first do the research, like if somebody is getting started online. So we need to understand let's say if I am a coach, if I'm a personal trainer doing the things offline, so I need to understand that what kind of content should I create so that the another person who is out there, so that person should be able to relate with what I am creating, so that that
Yeah,
person understand, okay, now that is stuff that is being created, so he must be knowing that what I am going through he must be also have gone through, so that is why he is able
yeah,
to share that and he has the solution of it, right? So
exactly.
that's something interesting. So here, I really would like to ask a question, that is, what was the mistake that you committed during your starting journey?
With face to face or with online?
I would say getting started online.
With online. With online, I was too generic. When I first started, I was, as I said, making those mistakes of just being vanilla. I tried to appeal to everyone, which made me appeal to no one. So it's one of those things like me and my partner. So my partner's employed, she works for the NHS. And sometimes like I'll run some of my ideas past her and she'll say things like, yeah, but so like at the moment with the Ditch the Dad Bod program, obviously it's very male focused. And she'll say, well, you're cutting out 50% of your audience. And I'll say, but I don't want, this program isn't designed for women. It's designed for men with these problems. I want to alienate them. Like my audience, if I go onto my Instagram, my audience is split 75% men and 25% women anyway. So it doesn't make sense for me to build a program that's targeted at women when most of my followers are men anyway. So yeah, it's about, and as I said, it probably took me about 2 years to really, really nail down like the niche. And what finally got it for me was thinking, right, who was the coach I needed 5 years ago? Who was I then? I was a dad, I was overworked, I was underpaid, and I wasn't effective with my time because I was trying to juggle so much. So that's where the idea of this program has come. It's come from, essentially, I'm trying to help my younger self. And I know that there is going to be more guys out there like that, because that my avatar is me 5 years ago.
All right. So my next question is this, like, right now you have followers more than, I would say the audience, Insta audience that you have is more than 10,000 followers. So how did you manage, and even how do you manage right now? So from starting to till right now, so did you start managing your audience on the Instagram? How did you were posting the social media posts, and now how do you do it?
So when I first started out, I'm trying to think of when I originally started my Instagram account. It's probably like what, 2014 or something like that. And it was just like a personal blog. So I used to put my own training stuff on there. I used to put a bit of client stuff on there. I only really started trying to push it probably 2 to 3 years ago. And getting to that first 1,000 followers was a slog. Like I was having to post 2 to 3 times a day. I was using, what do they call them? Those engagement pods. Trying basically all the underhanded tricks of like follow, unfollow and all that kind of stuff. And nothing was really working. As I said, I got to about 1,000 followers and then it was just like, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate now on posting like better quality rather than quantity. I set myself a target of posting like every day, once a day minimum. And then I just set up, I call it the, what's it called? The 3-2-1 system or something like that. And basically there's 3 problems. So I have a spreadsheet. So you've got Monday to Sunday across the left-hand side. So with themes. So it might be like Motivation Monday, Training Tuesday, Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, like Recipe Thursday, whatever it is. There's like a theme down the left-hand side.
All right.
And then across the top, I've got the 3 problems that I solve, the 3 main problems that I solve, the 2 things that I push against, and 1 thing for entertainment/comedy. So the 3 problems that I solve for my men at the moment are like lack of time, not understanding nutrition, and not feeling like themselves. So they've gone from how they felt in their early 20s to now into their early 30s. Life essentially is kind of like taken over. And then what you do is you match up the theme for the day. So if it's Motivation Monday and we're talking about lack of time, whether it's an inspirational like story from somebody who's a multimillionaire that has the same 24 hours as you. If it's Transformation Tuesday, I'll then talk about a client that had this problem. This is how we overcame it, and these are their before and after photos. If it's Workout Wednesday, right, you're lacking on time. So have you ever tried breaking your 1-hour workout into 3 20-minute workouts, and kind of like, rather than doing 3 1-hour workouts throughout the week, why don't you do like 5 20-minute workouts in order to be able to like fit that stuff in? So as I said, you've got the problem and then you've got the theme. And what that then does is you've then got a month's worth of content by filling out this spreadsheet. Perfect. And then once it's done, I'll then batch create it. I'll do an hour where I'll knock out 2 to 3, and then it's just much easier then that I'm not just, oh Christ, what am I going to post today? So it's spending 30 minutes planning saves me a heck of a lot of time over the month.
Okay. So you mean to say like you have a calendar that you follow? First you started as, you kept on blogging yourself on the everyday basis, and now you have the calendar that you follow.
So yeah, so I started out just going, right, I'm going to post every day. And then after about 6 months, I was like, Jesus, what am I was running out of ideas. So then again, I was on this mentorship and he had a similar system, but I just tweaked it slightly. And it just means now that, yeah, I've got a spreadsheet that I just copy and paste on the last couple of days of the month. And it will just, right, my next 4 weeks of content is planned out in half an hour.
All right, perfect. So it's really quite interesting if one can follow it. They are gonna, at least reach there where you are right now. So, coming to the next question, it's gonna be the, second last question that, are you comfortable sharing with my audience that what is the revenue that you generate per month?
Yeah. So at the moment, it fluctuates between like 3 to 4K a month, depending on churn and how many new sales and stuff come through.
All right, perfect. So, is there any tip? I believe this is going to be our last question over here. That is there any suggestion or advice or any tip that you would like to give the audience?
In terms of, if you're interested in becoming a personal trainer or an online coach, don't expect to get rich overnight. A lot of coaches put out there about their like 6-figure success stories that they've managed to get them there in like 12 weeks, but they are literally the cream of the crop. So what you'll have, so for every 10 people that join their coaching program, you'll have 2 that do that. You'll have 6 in the middle that are more like slow burners that take like a year, 18 months, 2 years to kind of build to that point. And then you'll have 2 at the bottom that fail because they either don't implement or that system isn't the right system for them. But the problem is that all business coaches show the cream. They show what the potential is, but you'll often get into these systems and feel disheartened because you're comparing yourself to Mr. Ace over here that's got like 30,000 followers already. He's been super consistent on Instagram, just never posted a call to action before. And they've suddenly like skyrocketed. Whereas yourself, like you might not have even been posting on Instagram once a day. You might not know how to make content that resonates with people. You might not be a great copywriter. Those are all skills that are going to take time to develop. And I know for me, like my coaching program has only come together in the last like 3 months or so, having built and rebuilt and stripped it back at least 3 or 4 times. So it's one of those that if you want to get into this to get rich quick, it's probably not going to happen. If you get into this industry because you genuinely enjoy helping people, you want to get people results, and you want to make the world kind of like a fitter and healthier place, the money will come as long as you are kind of like persistent with it. And as long as you keep reinvesting into your business. So pay for coaches, pay for courses, pay for books, get out from your computer and don't just do everything online, like go and speak to people and get in front of mentors.
Perfect. So I believe this is something quite interesting. It's not only about the personal business, it's all about, any business that you are doing. So nowadays in digital world, what is happening? There are a lot of people, I won't say them the coach or trainer, they are pretending that or announcing that if you join their course, you are going to generate the revenue of somewhere around $10K or $15K per month. So I believe this is something you mentioned, not to get trapped into this get rich quick scam. So you got to learn the things accordingly, and then you keep on going further, keep moving ahead further. So thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, brother. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing with my audience. And I'm really thankful to the audience as well that they stayed with me this much long. And I believe they are getting the value that what they are here for. Thank you so much to my audience. And once again, brother, thank you so much to you.
that's not a problem. So if any of your audience have got any questions for me, or they want to reach out about kind of like becoming a personal trainer, the best place to kind of get hold of me is on Instagram, which is the dadbod coach. Sorry, the dadbod_coach.
Perfect. So what I'll do, I'll keep your Instagram profile link in the description so that if anyone wants to connect with you, they can connect. Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect.